Welcome to the shop tour that's been 3 years in the waiting. Classic us trying to record videos. We got lawnmowers going on in the background, mechanics going on. So let's step into the shop. Not much has changed from the outside. Still driving the Honda Fit. We got Cass behind the mic. So one thing we have changed is we've moved the cutting area to right next to the door. Let's lock this so that we can... The other problem is our door just randomly opens up and Toaster loves to run out. So we moved it up here because closer to the door, better lighting, and better exhaust. This is the, the entryway to the shop. We got the Height of Friendship up here. I always forget to have people sign it, but like Gareth from Jim Green's up here. I'm trying to think if any of the Pacific Northwest guys have signed it. Mostly like friends and homies throughout the years. And then, not much exciting in this room, but this room that used to be, if you watch the old shop tour, this was my original filming room. And also this mic filter is ridiculous. I'm going to try to hold it down so you can actually see me talking. But this used to be my filming room. Then we grew, because at the time, I think I had 2 employees, maybe 3. And this was almost 3 years ago to the day. And at the time, I was filming in here. This room over here that we're going to go into next was my office/bedroom because I was living in here at the time illegally. Sorry, landlord. And now this is the editing room. So we've got our 2 main editors over there with Cass and Chris. And then we've got office space for Kiana, our social media content creator. Brody's editing desk for Anvil builds. I think that's pretty much it for this room. Blinds. We got a new server, which was Cass's favorite thing that we've ever done. Same with Chris, because now instead of having 50 different hard drives with 10 terabytes of content, we have a giant server, which makes it really nice. So now into this room. We're coming in, boys. This is now the manager room. So we got Taylor, master cobbler, who's managing the production. He manages... like the Anvil build stuff and helps me design products. Sam behind the command center, the 360 desk, does a lot of the YouTube management, does the sponsorships, and basically runs all the YouTube stuff. And then Daniel Skeen is absent today. So Daniel's the one that usually does like the Q&As with me, but he's the manager of marketing, social content, stuff like that. So now it's going to my office. And there's one thing that we have done that has been really nice. We have on-air signs. And I don't know if anyone actually uses them, but it feels really cool when you flip them on and off when you're about to record. Definitely makes me feel more nervous. And then we've actually done some cool stuff with the way that we do producing videos and the workflow, because we've been implementing Japanese manufacturing techniques that I learned a little bit in college and learned especially from a book called 2 Second Lean. And we've applied that to the whole production of videos. So this is our post A-roll rack, where after I get done recording a video, these go on the rack, and then they go to the editors to shoot your guys' content and to get all the B-roll of everything and tests and everything like that. And then into my office, I have several forms of keeping people out. I've got the live signs up here, and I also have this sign, which sometimes people respect, sometimes they don't. And then now, this is my office. So this used to be Schmood's office, and now it is my filming room and office. So this is my like really fun spider arm filming setup. I just barely got this set up, and it makes it so nice because I can move everything around. The mic's adjustable. All I do is swing this table out in front, turn on my little light up here, bring down my green screen, and then I flip on the light over there, and then I just sit down and record a video. That's how I do it. A lot of people are like, oh, what's your setup? How do you have it set up? I'm like, it's pretty basic. I don't do a whole lot. Like green screen, black octopus. What is the octopus? What is the Aku in Samurai Jack? That's what it reminds me of. Then this is my desk. Shout out to Flexi Spot. And the meeting couch, the interviewing couch. And then my personal boots that I'm currently having rotation. I'm going to actually try to get this to a point where I have like select spots for certain boots, because I just never get to wear boots enough. And so I thought it might be kind of a fun idea to do something where like I have like my Cordovan boots, like my C-tier boots, and then my S tier boots, and then my A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier boots and shoes. So I might do something like that, because it would kind of be fun to do in like the State of the Union address, where I update you guys. Oh yeah, the cigars are out, Vibergs are in. You know, I don't know. It'd kind of be fun. This is fun. So this is literally just how we mock up thumbnails sometimes, because I'll be trying to concept it. It's easier rather than just drawing it. I'll like put my hands up, and Sam will come in here and we'll be holding shoes and stuff. Works surprisingly well. Moving on, you'll notice the Morning Dram, the sponsor of this video. If you don't know who the Morning Dram is, they basically single-handedly made this whole Rose Anvil 2 project possible, because they make some of the best coffee in the entire world, because it's infused with whiskey flavor. And the way they do that is they take their beans and they age the beans in whiskey barrels. So there's no alcohol in the coffee, unfortunately for some of you, but the barrels, that smell that's left in from the whiskey infuses into the beans, making it like the most unique coffee. Like when we walk in the shop in the morning, Josh already has a pot brewing, so it smells like coffee, it smells like whiskey, and it smells like leather. What more could you ask for? And the reason they found us was that he was Tommy, the owner of the Morning Dram, who won Best Whiskey Bar in America, was a fan of the channel, and was like, hey, I got this like coffee thing going. It would work great for your following. Let's do this thing. And he owns a pair of Aldens, some Red Wings. And so you're supporting a brand that supports us, that's into the same things that you and us are into. And it's just really nice coffee. And look, you can show them the cheat sheet. Here's my cheat sheet. Who's the Morning Dram? How we work together, why I like it, the deal. Oh yeah, the deal. So you can get a package deal, or like a starter bundle that comes with the grinder, it comes with the dripper, it comes with the camp mug, it comes with 2 of the barrel aged coffees, 1 whiskey and 1 rye, and then 1 single origin coffee that is gone, because as much as we try to keep several boxes, and Tommy keeps us pretty stocked up, inevitably, every time I record an ad, there's one of the flavors gone. And so that's the blue bags that was supposed to be here. So thanks again to the Morning Dram for sponsoring this video and for making this whole channel possible, because they've sponsored like more videos in the last 6 months than pretty much any brand. So support these guys. They make good stuff, and they're really supporting us. They even write us really nice little notes. Like, they're so nice. I love the Morning Dram. Cool small company. So check out the Morning Dram via the links in the description. This is where the impromptu, or not impromptu, but the randomly placed kitchen, because we don't have a kitchen area. What is the word I'm looking for? Not impromptu. Is it impromptu? I don't know. There's a word for it. We made this area work for the kitchen. I don't know if we had this sink, but that sink's big and nice. So bathrooms. And then now to this area when the last shop tour was completely empty. It was just overflow storage, and we just had like stuff and like pallets of random stuff tucked away. Now it's in full use, which is really fun to see, because I haven't watched the shop tour video since like 3 years ago, until 5 minutes before we recorded this. And I was like, dang, we like grown a ridiculous amount, because this is the Shoedecimal System. So what this is a complete catalog and categorization of every boot and shoe that we've ever cut apart, that is alphabetized by like make and model. So like Olukai, whatever Hawaiian that is. And then you've got in here, you can see we've got the other shoe not cut in half, and we've got the cut in halves. And so now, anytime we need to shoot extra footage, or we're comparing a shoe, instead of me and one of the editors taking half an hour to go sort through things and try to find a specific shoe, all we do is find, okay, this is row R. I'm looking for a Red Wing, Iron Ranger, this one. And this is going to be really cool for in the future, when people can come to the shop, even brands, if they want to come do some research, when we have 1,000 boots and shoes cut apart, they can just come here and literally do an entire 5 years worth of a YouTube channel worth of research in a single weekend, which is going to be really cool. So let's go back this way. Every time we get all the boxes overflowing, I have somebody cut them down so that we have the ends and the tops, because I think it'd be really cool one day to like do some big collage or something with them. I don't know. It might be a waste of time. But this is all the boxes that we've cut recently. And then over here, we've got Kiana working on the B-roll area. Do you like this setup, Kiana, with the mic on Cass's camera?
Really cool.
You know, with the toaster thing. And then B-roll setup, we just barely bought a bunch of stuff to do like a really nice B-roll setup with stationary lights, because usually we'll have, right here is where most of the B-roll is shot. and then all the tests are run in the background. And then we set this up so that we could actually have a stationary setup for like photography and more like clean B-roll shots. And then, so within the next couple weeks, we're gonna have like a really nice shooting area back here, because this is technically like the B-roll of the filming B-roll. This is technically the B-roll for the videos. Right now, this looks like it's just overflow. We got the engine crane for all the random crane tests, the water dank, the water dank test, puncture test, the bar drop, ball drop, and yeah. So it's slowly going to expand more and more to a point where we have a lot more scientific tests, because that's what I really want to get to. Because these are like ultimately pretty jerry-rigged. It is what it is. We, with the time and the money that we have, it's the best that we can do. But eventually, I want to get like really scientific tests, because that would be super sick. So let's take a little shortcut through here so you can see all the various shoes. See how easy this is? New Balance, Grant Stone, Field Grounds, Nike, Duluth. Then over here is our, once again, I don't know what the word is I was looking for, impromptu. There's a word for it. Makeshift. It's closer to what this is our makeshift break room. We hung this nice curtain up because there's nothing worse than when you're taking a break and people keep walking past and you're like, do I make eye contact? Do I not? Do I say hi? So we'll get the break room upgraded a little bit more, get some more privacy curtains up. But for now, it is what it is. This is more of my personal boot racks. And then my office is the ones I'm actually wearing at the time. This rack is more of like my overflow. I don't wear them very often, or like they just haven't been in my rotation recently. These are more brand new boots like this. Oh man, Ticho's going to be mad that I don't remember the brand name, but I think it's like XBS that Ticho has been working with. Ticho Blanco from Instagram on the Stitch Down podcast. He's a co-host. And he sent me these from those guys, and they are sick. I just haven't got around to wearing them yet. And then into Santa's workshop. So coming back to the back, fair warning to everyone back here. Got Josh, the man behind the customer service. He does all the shipping, all the customer service, the vast majority of all the product making. Him and Addie, his wife Addie, do. And back here is where everything's made. And you'll notice, what? There's 6 dyes of Kilties out? That's so crazy. It's almost like we just released our new Kilties, and we shamelessly put them here to promote them, because that's what we're doing. So we released the new Kilties, 3 sizes of the no-show, 3 sizes of the Western Fringe Kilties. And it is kind of cool, because you guys will be able to see how dyes work. So for instance, this is the dye for the no-show 10-inch Kiltie. And the way this works is this is Lexan glass, which is like basically bulletproof glass, so it's really, really strong. And then the company that does this for us, Milwaukee Steel Rule Die, has a laser very similar to our laser. And they take our design and they burn the lines in it. And then they have a machine that takes the actual steel rule, which is this razor sharp blade here. The machine shapes this to the exact shape that they just cut out. And then they have a machine, or they hand press those razor sharp blades that are shaped to the Kiltie into the die, and they have ejection foam to help push it out. They've got little punches on the inside. And so that's how, when we move over to the I move my head so fast. When we move over to the Kiltie or the clicker, you'll see how this actually works. But that's how they're made. And these are all of our scratch and dent from the initial run of like prototyping these and getting stuff ready for photos and all the promotional stuff. And we're going to give these away today, because this video comes out today. And so to enter to win these, which we have them do, just comment below, say, I want Kilties, please, in the comments, and we'll message you and tell you how to get them for free. So the first people that see this are going to get them first, so good luck. And moving on to, I guess this is the workbench. So this is where Addie and Josh and whoever else is helping at the time make the majority of our products and hand stitch stuff, hang out and watch The Office while I stitch stuff nonstop, right, Josh? Dave Ramsey, The Office. What else is always going on back here? Classical music. We don't listen to techno anymore. We used to have techno going on back here nonstop. Also, lots of pineapple decor. Fortunately, all these pineapples are facing upwards. But what was the inspiration behind the pineapple decor. So we got pineapples up there on the skulls. We got pineapples over there. We got a pineapple-looking chicken over there. Is there any rhyme or reason? Steve the chicken. We just like pineapples because it's summer.
It was on sale, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day we'll have a little summer party and keep these pineapples as up, because you know what that means, right? Upside down pineapples. No, you don't. It's allegedly a sign for swingers. So yeah, that's what. So like, if the pineapples are upside down and you see them on like someone's porch or they're wearing jewelry or something that has it upside down, allegedly that means they're swingers. So that was the joke I was trying to make. Let's see, what else we got? Some of my favorite machines in the whole shop, the heat press. Love this machine. It's a Quick Print Model 64. I bought it from a lady here in Salt Lake whose husband passed away, and I bought a couple of her machines. So I love when I can do that, because there's so many times where people have these machines, they mean so much to them, and they pass away. And because it's such an obscure thing, not everyone has the same value, doesn't see the same value in them. So a lot of times they get thrown in landfills or scrapped for metal. And so to be able to buy something like this from somebody's husband who really cared about it, it does have a little extra special meaning to me because of it, which take it for what it's worth. Our scary riveter, this one is a death machine. So this will for sure ruin your finger if you get it too close to that little plunger. Okay, watch us have an on-screen accident. So that's what it would do. I'll do it one more time for you. So pretend your thumb was there. Ouch. So maybe one of the most dangerous ones in the shop. But we also have this foot riveter that makes it a lot more controllable. You literally just operate with your foot. Not nearly as fast, but a lot safer. Then over here, Addie's hiding in the corner. The clicker press. Oh, so let me go grab one of these dies. See if you can keep up with me. The worst shop tour ever. Everyone's like, "What are you guys doing? You're so unorganized." So now that you understand how a die works, let me show you how it works. So first, turn on our 25-ton atom press that we've got from Campbell Randall. This is basically a 25-ton cookie cutter that when you push these two buttons, it presses down with 25 tons of force, forcing these razor-sharp blades through the leather, popping out your exact design that you hopefully had intended anyway. So put this on here, put it on this hide of Wicked and Craig, I believe. Nest it as close as I can to reduce as much waste as possible. And then swing it over. And then I push both of these buttons. I definitely didn't check the pressure. Oh, okay, it was fine. You're supposed to check the pressure so you don't accidentally bury a die into the bed here. But there you go. Brand new Kilties. And those are on sale, so go buy them. Shameless plug is done. I won't plug the Kilties anymore. We do have some other products coming out, though. We got the travel wallet, the Kilties, and the third camera attachment for the camera harnesses coming out. Because the Kilties are live, aren't they? Well, I'll put a link to the Kiltie in the comments, whether they're live or not. Travel wallet and third camera come out Thursday, I believe. This is our fat stacks of leather. So we got a lot of Seidel leather, some Wicked and Craig, some Horween. And this is my favorite part of the shop to walk past, because it's always, especially in the summer, because the heat heats up all the waxes and oils and it makes it smell really, really nice. I'm sorry that you have to be in the background the whole time.
I thought this was a safe spot.
Nope, you're wrong. And then Addie's over here killing it on the strap cutter. Thought she could hide from us. We can cut you out of the video if you want. Addie, you're adorable. But yeah, this is another Campbell Randall machine taking our scraps and cutting them into straps. And these are our random scrap bins. We've tried doing scrap sales a couple times. It's hard to actually get to a point where it's profitable, or at least breaking even for us. But we might do some more. You can see this is our scratch and dent rack. You can see how fast this stuff fills up and how sometimes we don't use up all the scraps for certain harnesses. But that's why we do a couple scratch and dent sales a year, because people are expecting perfect leather, even though they know it's from an animal's skin. And yet, if there's little flaws in it, people have issue with it. I get it. It's fine. But that's how we do scratch and dent. Our our working inventory. We keep a pretty tight inventory because I don't want to be sitting on millions of dollars of inventory. You know, I just want to have a nice, easy, really fast, streamlined business, or really lean business. And then over here is more of just packaging, just overflow storage. The 2 ACs running all the time to try to keep these guys back here cool because we don't have AC back here. We only have heat, and it's summer and it's hot. Then over here, our burnisher from Weaver Leather Supply. I'll put links to all this equipment in the description so you guys can check them out. Weaver Leather Supply is a really good resource for if you're taking a step out of amateur, like in your basement style leatherworking, and you're moving up to small production. Weaver Leather Supply is a really great resource for really affordable but high quality leatherworking tools that streamline the process. And then Campbell Randall's kind of a step above that. So if you're doing a bigger quantity or you want bigger machines, Campbell Randall's a great resource, and that's where half of our machines have come from. Over here, we got the leather for the wallets. So this is our like 3 to 4 ounce veg tan leather. I don't know what's happening over there. There's been it's really windy outside, so all the haunting aspects of the shop are really showing. Like there was a flap in my office that was like breezing, or like one of the curtains was like kind of breezing, and I was like, what is that? And then I found that there's a giant current of air going through the wall coming out of my sockets. I don't know, it's creepy. It's haunted for sure. But this is the veg tan leather we make the wallets out of, 3 to 4 ounce. I love this leather, and that's what we make the kilties out of too, because I said I wasn't going to plug the kilties anymore, but it's not even a plug. We like to use this little bit of thinner leather because it's a lot less break-in period. It doesn't add a ton of bulk to your kiltie or your boot, and it breaks, I think it breaks in faster, but it's just as strong, about as strong as a really thick slab kiltie without all the discomfort. And it's veg tan, so it's a lot, it forms to your foot a lot more, so it holds that shape. And we haven't really had any issues with it or any returns. And so I think eventually we'll get to a point where we do like this lighter weight kiltie, and we'll also do a heavyweight kiltie. But the lightweight kilties are working really well right now, and covered by our lifetime warranty. So if it does fail, we'll get you a new one. One of my favorite machines, I say this probably about every machine. One of my favorite machines, another one of my favorite machines is the Boss Laser. So I got this during the first shop tour when we were up in Smithfield. And this was like a really big piece of equipment for us at the time. And it's still a big piece of equipment because it cuts all of our wallets for us. And it's a great prototyping thing. And yeah, it just runs like a dream. Boss Laser. I'm pretty sure they just import them from China, and then they update everything and like make sure they're good, and they charge a premium. But I'd rather pay the premium and not have to deal with like customer service in China or warranties through China. So Boss Laser kills it as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's pretty much it for here. More packaging. That's like the one thing as you can tell, we're pretty tight on space, and packaging is one thing that takes up a lot of space that you just don't need on a daily basis. So that's one of our problems we're trying to solve right now, because if you watch the old shop tour, this whole shop was like super empty. We had 3 employees. Now we have like 10-ish employees, and we are out of room. So Dream Shop might happen sooner rather than later. Just kidding. It's going to be really expensive, so it'll probably still be a couple years. But this is the most exciting thing we have going on lately. So this is all the cobbling equipment and boot making equipment that we bought from Walrus Shoe and Leather Co., which was a small operation in Milwaukee, or just outside of Milwaukee. They made a bunch of reenactment shoes and boots for plays and different things like that. And this wonderful couple that we bought this equipment from made a living off of it and was really involved with keeping cobbling and the shoemaking world alive, basically from like the 70s to the mid 2000s. And it really helped bridge that gap to get us to a point where cobbling and shoemaking is still available, so that we can make channels off of it. And like basically what I'm saying is they preserved like high quality footwear in a time where it easily could have died, and it's kind of what brought us here today. And so we were able to buy their equipment, which is really cool. So this is our big line finisher. You got your sanders, your burnishers, your wire wheels. So this is like basically from start to finish, you can do all the important sanding and buffing of a boot on this. But this is the heat lamp. So once you're ready to put on a sole, these lamps will turn on, or you turn the lamps on, heats up the glue, reactivates it, slap it together, bring it over here to the sole press, which this little bladder inflates with air, and you push these down, locking it in place, and that pressurized air locks and pushes really hard against the two layers, binding them together. This is a heel wheel, basically drives a bunch of heels in at the same time. This is the workhorse of basically any high-quality boot-making shop, the Landis K or the Rapid E. Very similar machines as far as I understand, just like two different brands basically doing the same machine. This is what all these Pacific Northwest brands and all like the really heavy-duty boots use to sew on their soles, where they sew through like half an inch to an inch worth of material. That's this machine. And we've got it up and running. You can see Taylor's been practicing on some coasters and stuff, getting it dialed in. He's done better work than this. Don't judge him off of these, is what I'm saying, because these are practices. And then over here, we'll turn on some lights. So this is one of the coolest machines that we got. So this we've named the Walrus. And I'll move this little island out of the way for us. So since we bought it from the Walrus Shoe and Leather Company, we thought it was only right to name at least one machine after them. And this is by far the coolest, the most rare, the most unique machine that we even have in the entire shop. And we call it the Walrus after Walrus Shoe and Company. But also because in order to operate this thing, you have to kind of like act like a walrus. There's like wheels you have to spin. So it's like, to me, it kind of to operate it, you have to look like a walrus. I don't know, a little bit of a stretch, but it works. But this machine is from the turn of the century, the early 1900s, and it was a unique machine because at the time, if you compare it to today, where we have really small handmade boot makers and then we have big corporations, there's not a whole lot of middle ground. Back in the early 1900s, basically the whole market was middle grounds, because on every street corner, every single city had several cobblers, several small shops, several medium shops, and several like medium/large shops. And so for those medium shops that were lasting a bunch of shoes per day, instead of hand lasting them, this was one of the only machines that was an affordable price range that was still capable of scaling up a business in the early 1900s to last hundreds of shoes a day instead of lasting tens of shoes per day by hand. So it was like this, it's this really unique middle ground of like, it's not quite huge production, but it's not quite small production. And this is like up there with like what I was talking about with Campbell Randall. It's like right in that sweet spot of like a middle size production that there's really not a market for anymore. That's why with like the Landis K and the Rapid E's, they're really hard to find, and they're like always like 80 years old because there's just not a market to need to produce middle ground production equipment. And so in order to find that, you have to find really old stuff from a part of the previous century that was prioritizing middle ground production size. So that's why I think it's really cool, because it's just a relic of a bygone era in America. And to be able to save it and take it from this company that used it to build their brand, because they expressed to us how important and vital this was to the success of their business. And it was maybe the most important machine that they ever bought, because it had the ability to take a small production and make it capable of producing thousands of boots a day. The Walrus. It's so cool. And we're going to do a deep dive on it, and we're going to like do a restoration video and stuff, but it's just so wacky. Like you've got like this feeder up here, which is a nail feeder that automatically mechanically feeds into this nail gun that you take this mallet and you smash it down, and use this to nail the upper to the vamp. I mean the upper to the last. It's so crazy. It's a really cool machine. But we'll be here all day if I keep talking about it. And then we've got some last jacks. So you'll notice this one is really nice. This one is like really well refurbished, and that's because we're doing a video on it. And Brody has been absolutely grinding away on this figuratively and literally to get this thing to where it's at. So that video will be coming out soon. Because on the Rose Anvil Builds channel, we're going to do shoe restorations, boot rebuilds, ridiculous over-the-top like the cut downs. I don't want to spoil any of our upcoming videos, but like the Red Wing cut down, and also equipment and tool restoration, so that we can start using these turn of the century tools and equipment to show you guys not only how people make shoes and boots, but to show you a part of boot production that you've never seen before by buying up all this old turn of the century equipment and showing you how they used to make it, showing you how people that built the boots that built America built the boots. It's a little bit on the nose, but you get the point. Then over here, just cobbling stuff, equipment, supplies. We got our 3-in-1. This thing is also a huge game changer because this allows you to cut really thick soles. It allows you to skive things down. It's got a roller presser foot here. We've got a little Landis splitter over here as well. These things are super handy. They're not fully up and running yet because we're waiting on, this whole thing is we're waiting on the electrician to come and rewire everything for us because I think it takes 220 and we don't have a line running all the way through here. We need to do a bunch of stuff. So we just haven't been able to get it up and running yet. But sewing machine, skiver, workbench that I had moved out of the way, tool chest. This is the belt making station. So this is an entire fleet of Weaver's belt making tools. So I've got this, which is a embosser, has this embossing wheel, presses it together, allows you to put a print in the leather like, we don't even have any examples. It looks really cool. Just take my word for it. Then we have 2 belt punches, I guess is what you'd call it, where it cuts the end of the belt. I guess I can show you. It's not that hard to just show you. So you put your belt in there, bring this down, and then on top it's got a die that perfectly is the shape of our micro adjust belts, like that. So you'll see 4 holes over here, 4 holes at the top, 2 holes on the bottom. That's because we make our belts adjustable. Because there's nothing worse than when you get a brand new belt and one hole's too tight, one hole's too loose. You wish you could split the difference. That's what this belt does. And it's a game changer. So over here we got another hole punch. We got our little arbor press. And I feel like that's pretty much the whole shop. Let's just walk to the front and see if there's anything else we missed. They got this thing lit up pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's everything. So thanks for watching the shop tour. Thanks to everyone in the shop that let me film you. Half of the crew's sick because I've been sick for 3 weeks straight. That's why my voice is all grumbly in all the videos. And I immediately just gave that to the rest of the crew. So, but we're sticking to the new schedule. So check out the new Rose Anvil Builds channel. We just posted a video there. We're going to be posting videos on Saturdays. Then check out the Rose Anvil main channel. You probably know that because you're on the Rose Anvil 2 channel. And thanks for everything you guys do. And thanks for helping us do this because it's really the only way that we could do this is with your guys' support because in order to cut brand new stuff apart twice a week, every single week for the last 3 years is wild. And yeah, so thanks for everything you do. Give me some good light for the final shot. Rest up against the bandsaw. Yeah, thanks for everything you guys do, and looking forward into the future. Hopefully by the next time we do a shop tour, I would love to be in the dream shop. I don't think it'll happen quite yet because property is so freaking expensive, but the dream shop is hopefully coming. Maybe by the next time the Q&A. And I don't know if you don't know what the dream shop is, it's my goal of all this to build a giant shop that has a woodworking area, leatherworking, mechanicking, metalworking, pottery, just a giant place, like basically a mecca for making. Anything you could ever imagine making, you could do in one shop. And also to have a giant library of all the boots and shoes we cut apart, to be able to share the things that I love of creating all these different crafts and all these different disciplines, also be able to share what we do with the channel, and have a place where people can come and basically enjoy what I love most in life, which is making stuff and basically just making stuff. I just love making stuff. And I think that's why I like reviewing stuff, is because I love the insights. So enough rambling and enough dreaming of the dream shop. And thank you guys for everything you do. Thanks to Cass for shooting this for us, and everyone else that was here and everyone else that wasn't here. So thank you guys. See ya.